Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Craigers.
Oh man.
Watching our backs, Craigers.
Thanks, Craig. You robot son of a bitch.
I don't like the tone that you used. Time to die.
You sound violent. Sending
Commencing
authorities.
termination.
Yeah. Sending authorities to your home. Say what now?
You hear that? That's the sound of a man dying.
You'll have to take me by force.
Tell me you have a family so that I can enjoy this.
So, do we? Man, see now you guys got to come out with a whole new intro. I'm gonna shake the system up. I'm coming in.
Nah, can the intro. We just need to add you.
Yeah, I know.
Because
and then Bo really screwed me up with the whole Thunderhawk or Silverhawks. I was like, oh man. I kind of want
Try to think of like 80s properties. All of us are like an icon from the 80s.
Now all I can think about is I want a bearded Quicksilver. I want a Quicksilver with like a big bushy beard. And the helmet comes down and some hair comes out the bottom.
yeah.
You know,
That's ensuring that you don't survive the vacuums of space.
it just comes down and clamps down, and you see him go, oh god, no!
And every time you come back into port, it's like that Brock Sampson where he just spits up a little bit of blood after he's been in space. Like,
little long nuggets.
yeah, he just blows a frozen blood nugget out of his nose.
I just look at everybody like all blue and stuff, and be like, I gotta go lay down.
I gotta go take a nap.
I gotta go take a nap.
All right, yeah. So, God, I've actually forgot how to do the intro. It's just an Bo.
I mean, yeah.
And then we're just gonna throw in I'm Zach or Liam or however you want to go by.
Yeah, whatever. I guess we'll just be Zach. It's 3 letters. It's easy to remember. Because I told you the thing. You know, I tried doing. You know, no one wants to say Liam. No one wants to say it.
Used to saying it, talking about you.
Yeah, and
yeah,
then
when I talk to you, it's just
everywhere I go, they're like, "And your name is Liam? Liam?" I'm like, "No, it's Liam."
Liam.
I'm like, and then finally I just got tired of it. You know what? It's Zach. It's Zach. Shut up. Can't screw that one up. Like a maniac. But whatever.
Well, then you get into the spelling of, is it ZACH or is it ZAK?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah. I'm the cool Zach. You understand? ZAC. Just 3 letters.
I should make you a Lego minifig.
Yep, that's about the articulation I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah, I hear that.
So we're getting old, but the best part about getting old is that we're in the future, and figures are getting really good.
Yeah, dude, yeah. I gotta say, these SH figure art dudes are freaking awesome.
They're wonderful, right? Like,
I just love playing with them.
I told you, man. Like, as soon as you pick one up, and just the engineering behind that company, I don't know what kind of crack they're on, but they're hitting it hard.
Yeah.
and like Bo has the Buzz Lightyear,
figure,
and that figure, the engineering on that thing
is logic. Because it has so many things that have to get out of the way for it to pose, and yet it does.
You want to know a quick little an awesome nugget that I want to leave you with? What? The neck peg that Buzz Lightyear's head attaches to is compatible with Dragon Ball Z figures.
Oh, you could put. Yeah, you could have. See, I've been I was like fudging them for pictures, but
yeah, you can have a Space Ranger Vegeta. If you so desire.
So does that go for like all figure arts?
They pretty much for the majority of them, I've noticed have like the only one that's the different is Vegeta has a weird neck peg. So if you, God forbid you ever break it, you have to do what I did and buy another figure and steal the good one and put it back and hope and pray you don't snap it. But just if you want to, because you can change the heads, like if you get third-party heads like from Kong or Demonical Fit or other figures, and you want to swap bodies and stuff, just heat the heads. That's all you have to do. You can put them. You can just throw a little like if you got one of those a heat gun or whatever, or throw them on the vent where your heat's coming out of, just for a little bit, and you'll
Or
be
hair
fine.
dryer. I usually use hair dryer.
Yeah, just trust me. Just don't be stupid like me and just be like, oh, snap. And
yeah,
it's just man. But luckily, those retail versions of Dragon Ball Super figures came out. They weren't expensive, so I don't feel so bad about, because I got Vegeta right here. I just he just doesn't have a neck peg right now. And this is a third-party head.
That's third-party head?
Yeah, that's Demonical Fit right there. So.
And I'm trying to get to. Now hold it up. Oh.
Yeah, so you can see that the face printing technology that Tamashii is using now with their Dragon Ball figures is miles ahead of everybody. Like the Vegeta that you have in your hand, his face is way better. Like you can. I'm just trying to pull his head off and see if I can. I know it's blurry as hell, and I have the worst steady hands, but I mean it's good. Like, it's a good head, but when you look at the heads that are coming out, yeah. That's what. I mean, yeah, the heads, the newer figures that are coming out with ever since Super came out, they've implemented the new face printing technology or whatever they're doing, and God, they look so good, so good.
Yeah, the only real issue I have, it's not even really an issue. It's a little gappy on Vegeta's neck. So that was one thing that sort of threw me. It's like, well, that's not quite right. I thought maybe something was wrong, but I realized it's just there to, like, because at first it was catching on the chest right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait, that's not right. But then I realized you can move it around and it still works, like, really well.
Yeah.
So just when I'm taking a picture, I just make sure that the neck is positioned where it doesn't look gappy and awkward, and then get the arms and everything else in place. But I've been loving playing with these figures.
They're so good. They're so good. And I have, like, this one's been on my desk ever since I got it. It's the level 4 Goku.
Yeah.
And oh my god, this thing. It's so good.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of GT, but that transformation is definitely one of the coolest, in my opinion. When they did it, I was like, please bring that to Super. Like, somehow, I don't know how they can't really do it now, but because I think everybody's stronger than level 4 at this point. But and unless they, I don't know, I don't know what they'll do. And then, like I said,
Unless
I have that Kong.
Yeah,
I have that Kong level 5. Yeah, I mean, they're always going to power creep because it makes more, adds a new color to Goku.
It's more exciting.
Yeah, it's more exciting. It's more exciting and more figures. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for it. Dude.
Mean, everybody's mad. Everybody's mad at that the world tour release of that Super Saiyan Goku that I was showing you, that event exclusive. Everybody's mad. They're like, "Oh, this is like the 57th Goku." I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah, that means it's better now."
Yeah,
because the first Goku is not as good. This one's actually really good. I really like it.
That's a good one.
Somebody should just ask, which Spider-Man are they on? How many Spider-Mans have you bought?
Yeah. How many how many Batmans have you bought? You know. So, and that's the thing about.
Yeah, well, with McFarlane especially.
Yeah.
He just keeps releasing them.
I mean, hell, I remember when I was a kid, and what company had Batman? Was it
Kenner?
Was it
It was
Kenner or
like
Mattel? You remember
Kenner, and then Toy Biz, and
Yeah, you remember when the Batman figures that came out, and I remember the one that stuck out to me the most, and it was like a yellow Batman. He had like a yellow radioactive suit or whatever, and he came with a jetpack and everything. Because they were like they had like all these Batman suits. He had like Batman in space, Batman going to take out nuclear something, and so they had I like that, and that's kind of like that's what makes Goku so especially the Saiyans. It's like, oh, it's a new level, it's a new hair color.
Yep.
And
his gi changed colors.
yeah, and well, that's the thing. He only thing it changes. It kind of bugs me a little bit because Goku, when he changes his gi, he only changes like little things. Like there for a while in Z, he took his like I forget what that's called, but the emblem on his gi, he took that off for a while and went to a sash belt instead of a tying belt. So of course they were like, Tamashi's like, oh man, well, you're gonna need a regular version of that, a Super Saiyan version of that, Super Saiyan 3 version of that. Oh, remember that time when he cut his shirt? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah. So, but yeah, I'm glad that you're on that Tamashi crack with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to show you my closet. It's pretty bad. I'm saving it up so that I can do like this big thing when I eventually move into a permanent house.
Yeah.
People can come in and be like, "What is your fucking problem?" I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
not
I
a
love
problem.
it.
I can stop whatever I want.
Not if they make another Goku, apparently. And I laughed because I saw that new Goku, and I want it really bad. You know I do. And they haven't even released the first 3.0 Goku yet.
Hmm.
As
Yeah.
soon as we get 3.0 Body Goku, it starts all over again. We'll be at a
You bought
100.
that kitchen set yet? The one with all the food and the.
Oh yeah, it's in my closet.
Oh, you got it.
What?
Okay.
What?
Yeah, there's a diorama set that it's a table, chairs, and a bunch of bowls and a bunch of food that you can get your Goku and sit at the table and have a bunch of food. And it's funny because Demonical Fit made the Majin Vegeta,
Uh-huh.
and he comes with the Majin Vegeta, and he comes with a normal Vegeta face, but he also comes with a full cheeks face Vegeta and a hand holding the chicken wing. So I have that. So we put
Nice.
Goku and Vegeta at the table, just diet, go
Chowing
crazy.
down.
Yeah,
Ah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to set all that up. I'm gonna have so much fun.
Yeah.
My wife's gonna kill me.
I've seen that in some place, somewhere. I think it was someone on Instagram. They had that set up, and I was like, where did he get that?
It's on Big Bad. It's on Big Bad Toy Store for like $30.
Oh, okay. Well, that's another thing
It,
to save up for.
and what's really stupid is you'll see the stack of bowls. Each one of those bowls are individual bowls. It's not like one solid piece of plastic.
Yeah.
They're all bowls and plates.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's and they are all like made.
It comes with all those bottles too. You can make them look like an alky.
Yeah, yeah. So you can be at the
That'd be good for
table,
alky pictures.
and,
Just like,
and, and it comes with a hand for Goku holding chopsticks and another one holding the fork. And he comes with an extra face to look like his cheeks are full. So yeah, and that's compatible with your Goku because all the Gokus that are compatible in that body that you have now.
Yeah.
But once 3.0 comes out, it's a whole different ballgame because Goku will have a bigger neck, like Gohan has.
Yeah.
Because Gohan, that body is glorious.
It really is.
And the same thing with that Turles. That Turles is, oh my god, so good. Like, as soon as I saw that thing come up for P Banda or whatever, I was like, yep, that's for me.
I also like. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Got him holding the fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, he's so good. And he's got a 3.0 components. So he's got the big arms, the thick neck. So he's not just a mean Goku. He's a much tanner. Because the idea is that lower class Saiyans and the lower brackets of the planet kind of looked alike. So you could find like people that look like you.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like there was a bunch of like Gokus and Nappas and stuff like that, and Raditz like walking around that they all had different
Yeah.
skin tones and slightly different hairstyles. And only short Vegeta was the royal with that awful hairline.
Get away
Yeah.
with the cheap animation.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, that was the excuse.
He's got a wicked widow peak, man.
It's wicked. It's wicked. But what else? You guys got anything coming? You said you had some new stuff, Bo. The Masters of the Universe came in.
Opened up all that stuff last night. I got too many vehicles now. I realized once I was opening them up, I was like, oh man, there's nowhere for anybody to stand.
I think you're gonna have to. If I were you, I might throw in some ceiling hooks and do some fishing line.
I'll have to do something, man,
and get your flying vehicles in the air.
Yeah.
Because
I wish they would sell stands. Like some of your figures come with stands,
Mm-hmm.
but like I bought that Roton, and he has a peg for it, but it didn't come with one. And I was like, really like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can probably buy some kind of stand, but I'd probably just hang it somehow, figure out a way to, because that's what I did with because those NECA gargoyles are ginormous and they don't fit anywhere, so I had to hang them from the ceiling. And I have Goliath, and because I'm a weak person, I was walking through Target the other day, and
Oh, Hudson.
Yeah, fucking weak.
It's a great figure.
God,
or at least
it looks so
I've
good.
wanted it for a long time. So
I keep telling myself, I was like, "You're done. You're not going to collect those because they're you don't have the space, But then it was there. And...
yeah.
Oh, I got the email notification that New Adventures Masterverse He-Man is on its way.
Oh,
Nice.
So I guess that'll be news today.
Oh, okay.
That one that was like a pre-order months and months ago.
Yes.
Right.
I kind of wanted that one just for the custom, because he's got such a nice, like almost like a blank body. I don't want to say blank, but you know what I mean. Like he had a nice setup.
Well, that was like one of my favorite figures as a kid. I took that thing everywhere. I remember playing in the bathtub a lot too. I was just like, "Yep, he's coming." But like, it's one of those. I didn't really watch New Adventures He-Man though.
No, I don't think anyone.
I didn't like. I didn't. Yeah. So I didn't like correlate it. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is He-Man." To me, it was just like, "Oh, he's got a cool laser sword."
Yeah.
For me, I remember being absolutely appalled when I had a friend who threw away his freaking He-Man because the New Adventures He-Man came out, and it's like, it doesn't even fit on Battle Cat. What the fuck are you talking about? I was so furious. Like, you could have given that to me or something.
Just toss everything. Oh yeah, Batman changed his suit, or Goku changed his hair. Like no.
Yeah.
All these other Gokus gone. God, how many Gokus and Batmans and Spider-Mans did that kid go through?
Right. I have no idea. But his parents were like, I don't know, stupid rich. So they bought him everything from the He-Man show, and it just stored away for when they had a son, I guess. I'm not sure what the story was behind that, but yeah. Filthy rich, threw away his He-Man.
God. Did I ever tell you about the Star Wars land speeder? Ever tell you guys about that?
Huh.
I've known it a long time. I don't think I've ever heard this. What is this?
So the land speeder that Han and not Han, Luke and Obi-Wan are coming into Mos Eisley with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that old speeder.
Yeah.
I had that, but it wasn't the newer version. It was the old version that they made, like when Star Wars first came out.
Yeah.
And it was my uncle gave it to me.
Okay.
And I left it at my mom's, and she threw it away.
I seem to recall you. Now, wait a minute. Now I remember you saying this because your mom threw away like a ton of stuff, right?
Yeah, because I had those like the Power of the Force figures, when
Yeah.
Star Wars kind of came back, and then
Uh-huh.
they
The
was
buff
and then
muscles.
well no, and it was the ones after that, the ones that looked like actually them.
Oh,
They had,
okay.
and then I started collecting those because I just loved them, and I had the Luke Skywalker with the Stormtrooper disguise and the helmet that came off and everything,
Yeah.
and then I had the Han, and then there was a Han Solo that you had to. It was a mail away figure that you had to send like frosted flake UPC codes and pay shipping or something too, and you got the Han Solo and Stormtroopers. Threw all that away. Threw all that away.
That hurts.
I didn't talk to her for years.
Hopefully they'll somebody found them and didn't discard them at least.
I like to think that maybe she just gave them to something, but knowing her, she probably just threw them away. Just mad. How dare he?
Oh well.
Yeah, I know. Just thought I'd throw that in there. I was like, man, I don't even know if I told you guys about that. The heart wrenching. But anyway.
Well, my brother had all of the He-Man or not He-Man. He had all of the Star Wars toys when they first came out. My parents bought them for him when they were giving him a birthday party, and like my mom set them up on the cake and whatever. And I guess he was playing with them and threw them outside across the creek, and just left them there. Came back inside and forgot about them. They probably washed away when the creek rose or whatever. It's just like, the stories that you hear, people neglecting their things.
I'm pretty sure I single-handedly contributed to the Ninja Turtle market just because of me.
What?
Like I went through like I don't know how many Raphaels because like I dropped one in a lake. I was on my dad's bass boat and I had my Raphael and I'm like oh bloop.
If that's old NES rules, he's dead.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He hit that vines,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I dropped one in the lake, and then my mother again ran over my Ninja Turtles with a lawnmower because I left them in the yard.
Lawnmower, jeez.
Yeah, so you'd be walking outside one day. I found the Donatello leg, and I'd be like, oh,
Donnie.
Oh. You had to have all of them. I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, don't you love like group figures? Like you can't just buy one Ghostbuster or one Ninja Turtle.
Yeah,
you gotta buy all of them.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles were a set. Like you couldn't just, you had to have all four, and you could live without like, I could always live without the external characters. Like it was nice to have Casey Jones and April O'Neil, but if I couldn't, then it was fine, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta have the originals. That's why any new Ninja Turtle stuff always scares me.
I know.
It's like, God, if I want this, it's going to cost me at least 4 times.
and I never would buy a Shredder because for some reason in my childhood mind, it's like I don't want to support his cause. Like I thought that the money was going straight to Shredder. Fuck that guy.
Shredder's out there getting residuals.
They're all like professional wrestlers. I don't know why my merch isn't selling.
I got news for you, kid. They screwed me out of my contract. I don't get anything for it if you buy a Shredder figure.
Good. I ain't buying.
And you know who's to blame? Those cursed turtles.
Cursed turtles. In that loudmouth report on April O'Neil.
I would die in a turtle suit.
I was just doing my part, Just doing So helping fight the foot by not contributing to their cause.
Uncle Sam posters, if it's a turtle, do your
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. They're like, well, we can't afford this portal. Why? Because no one's supporting our cause.
Yeah.
What a stupid brain.
What a stupid man.
Stupid child brain. It's like, no, Mama, don't buy him.
You think you were funding the war on terror?
Yeah, for some reason in my mind, I was like, no, you don't want to support them, all right? I don't want to prop up his. Man, you don't
Every
want the.
figure you buy gets you another ninja star to throw at the turtles.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean you don't want this Foot Clan vehicle?
Nope.
Loyal.
There's an underground terrorist, Mom.
Yeah, I'll have 2 turtle vans, please. I don't know why.
Hulk Hogan's music starts playing. I'm
Still American. You can just see it fade out in the background, playing that guitar.
And then it's like one of those old timey news, wartime news things where it's like, oh, the turtles are out there fighting the war. Go get them, turtles.
Go get them, turtles. Buy a wall bomb today. Buy a turtle.
Buy 2 turtle vans today.
God.
Every turtle van is a bullet in another shred. Oh, they use guns now? Yes, they do.
Yes, this is war.
We don't mess around. Do you know how many foot soldiers there are?
You know how them foot soldiers are. They run on their feet, but they shoot with their hands. Yeah. So there you go. An insight to my stupid childhood brain of why I had so many turtles, but no shredders.
Wow. Inside into your brain.
Yeah. So I thought I was like, no, Mom, don't buy them.
Oh, you know that Kamen Rider we were talking about, the skull?
I read something about that. I didn't know if you were going to bring that up. We got all excited. We saw that Kamen Rider SH Figure Arts the skull.
Yeah.
I heard that the company got the NPC wrong and it was supposed to be a figurized model. And Entertainment Earth was like, oh, it's a figure reissue. Oh, okay. So they put up a figure that everybody wants but can't get anymore. Everybody pre-ordered it, thinking it was the figure, but it's actually a model kit.
Oh,
and
yeah. See, I actually didn't hear that because I was gonna cave. I was like, well, I'll just buy the model kit because I had so much fun with that figurized Ultraman.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna buy one of those.
Yeah.
So nobody's getting that. That was never a reissue.
Entertainment Earth canceled everybody's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That figure is like 6 years old.
Yeah, it's very old, and then like everybody's flipping out. They're like, dudes, everybody's got to get this because if they're reissuing this, like, because I came close. I was like, man, even my
I hated you, man. I had no money that week. You're like, check it out. Look what's coming back. I'm like,
yeah,
why are you doing this to me?
I tell you the news. You don't have to like it. You understand?
Yeah, I guess that is the point. It's my money. Just for that, I'm going to go out and buy 18 shredders.
Fucking traitor.
He makes some valid points if you just listen to him.
Never. Not in this political world. I can't be your friend.
Friendship line is drawn.
No more mutants. No more mutants.
Well, then he needs to stop mutating people.
It is true. It's like his argument against defeating the turtles is like, we'll just make some more. Just get some punks off the street and turn them into a rhino and a war.
Like, find the 2 most vicious animals you find: a rhino and a warthog. Oh, okay.
Didn't you turn that scientist into a fly man?
Right.
To be fair, I did that to myself. pukes on feud.
Yeah, he just throws up on a plate of lasagna. Oh, now looks more like vomit.
And everybody throws up. He's like, "Are you gonna eat? Are you gonna finish that?"
Yeah.
Pizza face.
God. Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Maybe
So
Maybe Shredder isn't that smart. Maybe I should reconsider.
I know. Yeah, that's why you don't support him, dude. You want to support him mutate more people, even though he said no more nah.
But to be fair, the Turtles did like. I remember there was like a Parody Toy commercial. They pointed out that the Turtles are always they're shooting their pizza. They have like the pizza launcher, and he's like, "Wow, this could have easily been sewer lids. They're going to throw their food, I guess. Whatever." I mean, he's a samurai master. He's like a ninja master. Surely he could easily dodge that.
Not if it's like fresh pizza, then it just sticks to your belt. And,
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if they had like let's think about this. That turtle launcher, the pizza launcher, if that was a hot oven pizza,
yeah,
and they launch it, that would be like circular napalm.
yeah.
You
Or worse, they kept those Tostinos frozen and they shot those at you, and it's literally just sawdust. Just beheading the Foot Clan. Just because that plastic and the cardboard that they put those little inserts, they're pretty sharp. I've cut my hand on a couple times. Trying to open one up and just.
I was hungry. Now I'm bleeding.
Yeah. Got to solve this issue, but first, let's go ahead and preheat that oven.
You're bleeding all over the kitchen. Not now. I got work to do.
Okay. This oven is the slowest oven. You want me to preheat it later? You fool. So
y'all are killing me.
I'm sorry. So let's see here.
Yes, I think I'm going to pre-order one of those Kamen Riders. I really want one.
Do it. But that was it. But that was it for your pickups as far as you got Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, and I got like the Masterverse thing's coming. I'm debating having the rest of my stuff shipped now because I got like that Haya Kong.
Oh yeah.
I've seen reviews of it, and I'm like, oh yeah.
I was seeing stuff about the 112 RoboCop from Haya. So.
Oh, is there a bit more news about it? Or?
I think I think it's on its way. It's coming. So.
Oh man.
So brace yourself.
I got enough. Got enough in the savings. I think I can handle it. I'm really looking forward to that 112th like Kane model kit that's coming later in the year.
Yeah, no, I got a wish list so damn big that I can't accommodate it.
that Haya Kane, man, it's so good.
It's
so good. Even the little wraparound arms are articulated. Like his little clamper arm and his little blowtorch arm and all that.
Mm-hmm.
On who?
Kane from RoboCop 2.
Oh.
Also dubbed RoboCop 2. Even though he's not a RoboCop. He's a bad guy.
My favorite one is the one that just walks, like when they unveil it and they open him up and he's like walks out all cool and he's immediately takes his helmet off and rips his head off.
The one that just couldn't handle being alive again.
Yeah. Like, the psychological effects of being a RoboCop.
I know people are a little iffy on that second one, man. I really enjoyed it. I know it's not the first one, but it's still really fun.
I will admit that it's a guilty pleasure. Even 3, like I'll even watch 3. I don't care. I mean, what did they really jump the shark and take it to a new level of stupid? Yeah. But have you seen a movie lately?
Let's get RoboCop. RoboCop and jetpack and have him fight cyborg ninjas.
It's like, and then because they not only like gave him a jetpack, then they're like, hey, let's give him a new arm attachment. It's a flamethrower and a grenade launcher.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Great figure.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Yeah, he did a pretty okay job too. Was it Robert Burke?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I
he
think
did okay.
yeah, and he ended up. No one really talks about him, but yeah, I was like, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it's no one. It's not RoboCop 1, but it's fine. It's fine.
To mention that the director of Empire Strikes Back did the second one.
Yeah,
Like a lot of people, like he did Empire Strikes Back. People.
I'm starting to go back and just like watch older stuff, and it's not so much nostalgia anymore. It's just that it's kind of better.
No,
Maybe.
you know what? I've been on. Yeah, last year I ended up clocking like 400 movies on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
The majority of those were rewatches.
Mm-hmm.
Just like just comfort movies.
Yeah, and then you posted that. You sent me that link of the Clint Eastwood sideshow collectibles. So of course I had to go
Yeah,
back and watch some Clint Eastwood movies. I'm like, God, these are gold.
yeah,
These are
Dustin.
still
Can you drop that in the chat, man? I would have. I'd get those. It's hard to pick. I'd have to go with Dollar. I'd have to go to the Dollar trilogy. But it was
Yeah.
really hard to pick which Clint Eastwood.
I haven't thrown anything because I don't know if can I like do you like where would I even put it?
Like his own thing. I feel like it's been because if I bought one, that would be my first Hot Toys, and I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You need like his own thing.
And the Outlaw of Josie Wales looks so good. And that's my favorite one. It's my favorite Western. So
Dustin, you've got a few. You got Hot Toys, right?
Yeah, I've two, but I don't think I'll ever buy another one.
Mm-hmm. Is it price or is it just what's the decision behind that?
Well, it's many things. Like, I pretty much it's the price is definitely a hindrance because you could buy a million, of these guys for it, but yeah, it's that plus they're so freaking fragile.
really,
Like I've had two or three things break on the hot that I just by doing what they're supposed to do. Like uh, the knee pad broke. It's like gonna have to figure out a way to glue that on Buffet, and then something on the Mandalorian broke.
wow.
So it's like they're just so fragile. It's like you think that they're big, so they'll be able to take more. I guess that more like these guys can get, but they don't. They're super fragile. You just
So
gotta know.
they just overshoot with the production about like the paint and all that. That's where they just soar. But it's not so
Yeah,
much about the quality of the figure.
yeah. I mean, it's a quality figure, but just you have to be very careful. Like, because I was sliding on. Um, I was just doing this yesterday because I wanted to pose my Boba Fett and Mando in a different position because I've had in this position for a while now, and it's like I want to switch it up, especially considering Mandalorian's about to start up again. So, like, I want to do so. I was trying to get the knee rockets to fire on Boba Fett, and I was going to pose him like how he posed in that in the Mandalorian with the Book of Boba Fett, and it's like I couldn't get it to go on. It's like then I'm like trying. I'm like, wait a minute, he doesn't even have a knee pad on this leg, so it's like I need to decide it on, and it's like okay, now I take off the boot, and then you take off the shin guard, and then you slide the knee pad up, and it broke. It's just the little leather strap thing just snapped off, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm not doing that. And it's
Yeah,
like I
if you
wasn't
got
even
to do
being forceful.
yeah, if you got to do those like parts forming thing, like the modular stuff, and if it's going to break easy on you, that's not a good combination.
Right.
That's what scares me.
Like I heard they weren't the best at articulation. Sideshow. That's why most of
Well,
the time you see like people in their displays, they're usually like doing some kind of static or really low effort kind of putt position or whatever.
yeah.
Well, Mez
Is
like soaring because they do. It's like they're the in between. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
high end, but they're posable and they're not going to kill your
and that's
wallet really for 'em.
yeah, that's why
Exactly.
that's why I'm more open to them just simply because of my biggest thing about Sideshow is that I can't commit. It's not the price because I mean if it's something you really really want and and you're gonna not go crazy. I mean I would never go crazy on that, but it's the size.
Yeah.
Because man, 1.6, dude, that's like what 12 inches?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's big, dude. That's a lot of space,
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's why it's like, okay, you get these for like, state pieces to go with other things. So I have Boba
yeah,
Fett, and he comes with his Temuera Morrison head and then his Tusken outfit. So I have those two in the case, but that was a deluxe thing. So one of them doesn't actually have a head; it's just a fake, like a for lack of a better word, but it's just a dummy head that the padding goes on, or that the helmet goes on. And then I have Mandalorian, which with Grogu, which was a deluxe set too. But yeah, I don't know.
It's a shame. Well, maybe one day somebody will get the license. We'll get some. We need more Western action figures anyway, but maybe we'll get some good 1/12 scale
yeah, I
action
would love.
figures or 1/6 scale.
I know I keep hoping like 5K will do something because since they do like the third party 1/6s and because they're going to do a 1/12, they said because there was so much of people asking for that Arthur Morgan in 1/12 instead of 1/6 that we're going to get one. And I was like, oh, okay, and give me a cowboy. And then they
Yeah,
come in Lim Toys, man. They come with so much stuff.
Yeah, that Arthur Morgan man. There's so much. You not only do you get like it's great because you get like all of his costumes essentially. You can make them look however you want, but
Yeah,
he comes with so much, so
yeah.
many accessories.
That Lim Toys Venom Snake, they call it Ahab,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
I still look at that every other day, and I'm like, do I want to pull the trigger?
I don't know, man. You love Metal Gear.
I'm super, super. I sent pretty hard for the old gear. The old
Question
gear.
is it good? Like, because if it's good, you might as well. Because
I've seen. I think I've seen. I think I saw the Floosh review it, and he said it was really good.
you're not gonna get any. You're not gonna get any better probably.
No. Well, the thing is, I have that unpainted snake head that I was gonna.
Oh yeah, you were gonna make a custom snake.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and that's the only reason I haven't pulled the trigger because it's like you want to just make your own, because what I want is in the Phantom Pain. There's an outfit that he wears towards the middle of the game. You start getting this like badass stealth armor, and he moves out of the camis. You remember?
Yeah.
And I want that. That's what I want. I don't want the camis. Like I like the camis and everything, but he was only in that for at least when I played the game. I went straight for the stealth suit.
yeah.
I should clarify for listeners. I can't play Metal Gear, but Zach streamed it
Uh,
and live, and I would just be on chat with him while he played it, and I pretty much played the game with him. It was good, and it was really that's one of the most fun experiences I've had.
yeah. Yeah,
It was
we
just
went.
I was so stressed watching him play that game.
I can't do mini games very well. Like I'm not like good at a lot, but the one that I have confidence in is I can pick up a Metal Gear and rock.
The stuff I saw him pull off,
Yeah,
and
it's
I was just like, wow. That's the thing. I don't remember you dying a lot in that game. I
mm-mm,
really don't.
mm-mm. I understand the difference between cover and concealment.
Especially, what was it? What is that boss? The one where like there's like 3 or 4 bosses at the same time.
Oh, when they put me in the jungle and I had to fight those sniper skulls.
Yes, that thing. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he's dead for sure. It
And
was
then that
just
one-
like 40 minutes of him struggling not to die. He still
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah. And then that one teleported right in front of my face and went for the machete kill, and I managed to hit the quick time button like at the exact. They took the machete from him and just like put it in him.
That was some fun stuff, man.
Me and him both were yelling like it was like oh.
That's good times.
It was good. I would if we ever do video game playthroughs for the channel, we'll have to, because me and Bo actually had a thing we used to do together called Pass the Sticks. I don't know if we ever told you about that, and it's where we would sit down with each other and play a video game. It was usually single player games, but when you would die, you pass the sticks, and that's the rule. And we did the game that we did was The Last of Us, and it was just me and him playing that game and doing the most awful commentary you could probably imagine. It was mostly just me and Bo just giggling and trying to breathe because we were laughing so hard.
I think my favorite thing was that bit we had about it was Nick Nolte and who was the other one? Oh, Nick Nolte it was Nick Nolte and Gary Busey, and they had survived the apocalypse.
Living in a dumpster.
And The Last of Us, living in a dumpster.
Because you have to push these dumpsters around to like get to like different higher spots to climb over. So there's like a huge thing where you grab the dumpster and pull it around, and the whole time we're just like, "You can't believe we survived! Get to stop touching our home!" You know.
we need the arts more than ever now. We really do. I miss Eddie.
God, I miss Eddie. 48 hours. We should do a sequel. 84 hours. That's not how that works.
We should just turn that into its own spin-off thing. Yeah, we played that, and we played Star Fox 64. That was fun.
I suck at that. Real hard.
The videos are. Oh, we played some demos too. We went for a little bit. The videos are still around.
I don't think we have
down online.
Yeah, we don't have posted anymore. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll.
But it was still that was fun.
I mean,
yeah, it sounds fun. But that's the kind of thing I was thinking that we should do, is like things that we care about, like video games for you guys. Like you guys could do like your own little, not podcast, but your own little spin-off of just where you're playing video games and streaming that stuff and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, maybe I can do the Mandalorian reviews and stuff like that I've been wanting to do.
Basically,
I always talked about doing that with James, but we never did.
That was James doing. Do you ever talk to him? I don't talk to him that much.
Yeah, he's still around. He usually just gets on and sends me a bunch of pictures of his toys and stuff, and he had a real hard time at the school he was at, so
it's pretty much our entire relationship now.
Messed up stuff, but yeah, otherwise he's doing good. He's engaged. So
yeah, listeners should remember him. He was on our show. He was he's a school teacher that was like an uber nerd.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
He nerded out so hard that we ended up talking about like 40 or 50 different things.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
He was just so excited to be on the show. It was great. It was a good episode.
Yeah, it was. He's just one of those people that you let him loose, and then you're like, oh wow, you're already on like 5 different topics.
I think it was like he found an outlet. He could finally talk to somebody about like his nerd passions, and he just unleashes on raw.
Yeah,
I love everything.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Hold on, why that made me think of Venture Brothers. No, I don't want to leave the party and go back to my family. This is Sky. She's pregnant.
Did I tell you I started rewatching that like officially because I want to go back and see the seasons I didn't watch. So I just like you know what? I'll just start from the beginning.
I can't
That
wait for you.
that show is actually better than I remember.
Yeah,
It's so good.
the writing and dialogue on that show is still top notch.
Yeah, they don't. It's like Arrested Development. They don't wait for you to get a joke. They just keep
No.
doing jokes.
Yeah, and
And
honestly,
they go by so fast.
it's. I feel like I'd like to show it to like some Marvel writer, and be like, "You see this? This is called delivery." You know, what do you mean? You don't like the quips? Like even if someone died, you don't like a joke about it?
That's like you don't wait for the laugh track or anything. You just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Brock, I don't know what it would have done without you. You would have died.
No.
Things like that show is I can't recommend it enough. Like even if the show, like here's the thing, if the show tanks, even if it gets absolutely the worst after those first few seasons that I watched,
It does
I wouldn't
not.
care.
It doesn't.
Which is great news because I hear it like it's everybody still loves that show. So
It picks up so hard towards the end, right before they cancel. It makes no sense.
great.
No sense. And you're because you watch it with the intent of like, oh, there's gonna be more, and then there's not.
But it's like the perfect show for nerds, really, because they do so many references and stuff, and they don't stop and be like, "Oh, this is from this." You get it?
Yeah.
I mean, what was that? That you remember? It was that episode you were just talking about, like where he's Dr. Fincher's traveling the world, and
Yeah,
just for like 2 seconds, they do a parody of "Hungry Like the Wolf" music video.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just haven't seen that music video, you just wouldn't get that joke.
Yeah.
But they don't stop and they don't play the music or anything. But it's that type of stuff. It's just so funny. Like when it just clicks. And Mystery Science Theater does that too, where they just throw out a bunch of jokes. And you're going to get something and it's going to be hilarious because the references are so obscure.
And then it like you rewatch it and maybe you've seen something else and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so funny because you're catching a different joke later on.
It's exactly like that watching it now. It's exactly like that. That show is way better than it was when I was younger. Which was sadly like 20 years ago. That show's almost like 20 years old now.
Mm-hmm. I just like the fact that they were just fearless. It seemed, like they would tell a joke, and like when they killed Race Bannon, that shit made me laugh so hard. Like it actually had Race Bannon from Johnny Quest come in, and he was there for like 5 minutes and they kill him. and then he's dead, and then he shits his pants because that's what bodies do. And
don't show that part on TV.
Yeah, show that part on TV.
The Venture Brothers just like, ew.
Yeah, so if you've grown up, if you grew up during our lifetime and you were like, oh man, Race Band is the coolest muff in the world, from Johnny Quest, and then Venture Brothers just says, nah.
Also, the show was like the perfect parody of the confluence of like old stuff from like adventure shows and old comic books and like old music and any of those nerdy things that you just kind of grew up with. It's like they're like it's like that show. The writers are just they're clearly writing this stuff for themselves.
Yeah,
like they're trying to make each other laugh. And
when they went on.
It works. It just absolutely works.
When they went off on the G.I. Joe parody.
Yeah, if you want G.I. Joe, there's a parody. There's like a G.I. Joe parody in that show.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it, Dustin, I highly recommend it.
What's some of it like?
I'll have to watch it.
Old school horror, like Marvel comics, G.I. Joe, any adventure shows growing up, or like Hanna-Barbera cartoons, stuff like that. All of it's this weird stew of everything, and it's great.
Yeah, and there's no like, it's kind of like in a way, it's almost like pre-Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like it has sort of that attitude, like where it's like no one's really a good person.
No, everybody's terrible. Or
they're just not a good. At the end of the day, they're not good people, and it's there's.
And they still somehow exist as fantastical as everything that happens on that show. They talk, everything is grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Even the characters themselves are aware of how stupid everything is.
Yeah.
I can't recommend it enough. And I still that yard sale episode. That's still one of the best episodes of television. Just period.
Yeah.
The yard sale episode.
I don't want the freaking the lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh god, it was still so funny. It's good stuff. Can't recommend it enough. So yeah, I'm on that, and then I'm still watching My Hero.
Good deal. I know.
I've passed the 100 episode marker.
I'm closing the gap between what is available for My Hero pretty soon.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I mean, the six seasons out, but it's just the subs right now.
I think so.
Available.
I think a little. They have. I have to look. I just know that I'm at that real big pinnacle fight or whatever, and it's like I'm watching it, and the whole time I'm watching it though, I feel like that anxiety of like, man, look, this looks bad. Like everyone's gonna die.
It's always, yeah.
I mean, like, how are you good? Like, you ever watch like a superhero show or something? You're just like, I've never felt that, and with not too many media, you know.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is bad. Like this, I don't know how y'all gonna pull this one off, you know.
Right.
You know, as good as Endgame is, like it bothers me that only like 2 people died.
Yeah, that and plus
the good guys only lost like 2 people, and I was like, man, you should have killed like 5, 6 people in that movie.
Yeah,
I don't want to like dunk on Marvel too hard. I guess I don't want people to think I'm like a hater, you know, because I know it's like the cool thing now to like hate Marvel movies. But I feel, man, I feel bad that Endgame was kind of like the last one that I enjoyed. You know, like
well, you know, I have to go even further back. Like I'm thinking maybe Winter Soldier.
Well, Winter Soldier was I'd argue their best one.
Yeah,
the Cap trilogy is like
or the original Avengers. That very first Avengers was just so good.
Yeah,
it's in my top favorite movies, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean,
do you remember a lot of that stuff was still at Paramount, and they were just bringing in writers, and they were basically just conversing with each other about how to make them connect.
Yeah.
Then it became like Disney property.
Right.
They were like, we need one person, and this one person is going to decide how everything goes.
Yeah.
And by that we mean it all has to be the same, or else we can't sell it.
Right.
And so they're kind of losing their individuality on it.
It just, yeah, it does feel like, I don't know, like after Age of Ultron, it kind of, you can definitely tell that it became a product. It wasn't just people wanting to make movies and have fun and tell cool stories about superheroes and be kind of nerdy. It felt, you could, like, if I had to really put it, like, it felt like a product. It just felt like this is a subscription service and we have to deliver it to you. It essentially became a magazine. You know, like, we have to put this out. You know, this is content that we have to put out, and we have to hit these numbers, and you have to you over there make a joke. You know,
because
we
tested that that's what people like. And
yeah, it's like they like this stuff. Don't come on.
And I'm not saying now. Like, here's the thing: it's not coming from a negative aspect, like a negative, point of view, because you can have uniform quality and individuality at the same time.
Right.
Like you can have people saying their thing and everything still feel within the same universe. I mean, I keep pointing to it, but the Timverse, the animated DC universe,
yeah,
how that changed over time, and how you had all these wonderful writers and artists, but everything is cohesive, and you can watch all of that and not have anything really stick out. Like, this doesn't fit.
I know. I feel like I could just go in there and to Warner Brothers and take over for DC and literally just copy what they did for Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
just do it live action.
Yeah, just do live action and not say anything. Like, oh no, I made all this up. You know, this is
Right.
all me. Yeah, you know, and they'd be
I'm
like,
still shocked they won't bring in their writers. Like, God rest his soul, you can't bring back Dwayne McDuffie. I mean, we lost. What a fantastic writer. But
Yeah.
like, you know, Paul Dini's just sitting there.
Yeah.
yeah,
And he's writing all these hit video games and hit DC properties and stuff, but they won't let him write a movie. I'm like, let him write an action movie. Please.
Seriously.
Put him in charge.
I know that. Like Paul Dini, like it kills me. And I was like, he was able to put in more emotion and impact in a 20-minute animated cartoon that I watched.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, he reached into obscurity, took like just a diamond thief, turned him into Mr. Freeze, rewrote it. That's changed. That character changed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I picked this up for me and the boy. He's not. I don't feel he's ready yet, but soon.
What's that?
But soon.
Yes. Excellent.
Which is that?
Is that the Blu-ray?
It's the Blu-ray digital complete animated series, baby.
Nice.
It looks really good. It's on HBO Max. It's super clean.
Because they took. Did you hear about they're taking Justice League and Justice League Unlimited off of HBO Max?
No, I knew that.
Pretty soon. It's real
Well,
soon.
Oh no! How soon? Because we're in the middle of it.
Well, I mean, like weeks. Like I think
we
that
got to
hold on. I got the internet right friggin' here. What am I?
Are they doing that thing when they're just taking it away for a little bit and then putting it back?
I think it's going to Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah, you know, or one of those other services.
Just licensing it off to man.
Yeah, you know how because streaming, dude, it's like I love how it was this cool thing, you know, when it started, and then it just turned into like basically
the very
cable.
thing we swore to destroy.
Yeah, it's like, and that's boy, you want to talk about grinding my gears? I'm so sick and tired of paying for streaming services and then having to wait a week to watch an episode. Like,
Yeah.
Like, why don't I just watch TV?
Right.
It's like some services people only get it for. I'll admit, like there's nothing I would keep Disney Plus around for. But like when these shows come back, it's like you got to kind of pick it back up.
Yeah.
Because you can burn through some libraries pretty quick. That's why I like HBO Max, because their library is so extensive.
Yeah.
Like, I love Warner Brothers stuff so much.
Yeah, I mean that's what my kid and I watch. We watch Batman. They're always wanting to watch an episode of Batman.
Yeah.
So we're always putting one of those episodes on. But we've watched all of the Batman. We watched all of Batman Beware the Batman. And then I'm trying to get them into Batman Beyond and the original animated series and Justice League Unlimited. But I've been trying to work them into that and watching the original Superman series. But it's like
still holds up amazingly. It's so
I
good.
know it is.
And you say you're in the middle of Justice League Unlimited right now?
Yeah, we're just about to wrap up season 1.
When was the last time you watched it?
Oh, we tend to watch one every other night. We just watch one.
Well, this must be wrong because they put out this article, and it says ever since the merger from Warner Brothers and Discovery, the company has been purging its catalog of properties to save money, and shows Justice League Unlimited, and Batman: The Brave and the Bold are all leaving HBO Max after January 31st, which
that can't be right because we watched the Justice League episode with the Vigilante and Vixen and them last night.
What? Yeah.
Oh, I hope that is wrong though. I hope they're not. Surely they wouldn't be selling off that property.
I don't know, but this is from DCComicsNews.com.
I'll have to check this, man. I did hear that Warner was trying to sell. They're actually offering up their entire musical catalog for like $1 billion. And I'm like, you're going to sell the rights to all your music, your scores, and everything from your movies and all the Warner Media albums and all that stuff. That's crazy.
Baffling.
Can we get up $1 billion real quick? Because then we would own the rights to the Batman '89 score And anytime anybody used that, we would make money.
As long as you guys let me hire Zack Snyder to come back just so I can fire him again.
I will do that under the stipulation that you hire him, you let it go at least a week, and then you fire him.
Okay, I could probably swing that. I can hold on to that. Because I want to do it on national TV too, like when we're doing our the DC Dome, where they do the DC Dome and they have and it's all that CG stupid stuff, and I want The Rock to be back there doing like that. He stands there, and then
and you just come on swinging in like a cable, just like fired.
Oh, I'm gonna come in on a cable with pyro popping off, like Shawn Michaels from WWE, just like and then copyright right there. And then that was the whole Hogan music. I don't know. Jesus, retarded.
I'm sure it's so accurate though that we're going to get a copyright strike. I'm sure. Because it sounded just like.
Yeah, they were like, get them. But anyways, I come down there and I shake Zack Snyder's hand. I pull him in and I say, "You're a fucking idiot. You're fired." And then I just look at the camera and smile. I'm still shaking his hand. That way he has that moment of dread, of like, what have I done?
And then right underneath, you just put hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
Hashtag delete the Snyder.
We sold it off. It's going to Tubi now. You can watch all the Zack Snyder stuff on Tubi.
We probably just lost like a ton of fans. Listen. There were aspects of the Snyderverse that I thought were really cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought Jason Momoa's the whole Aquaman thing. I was like, oh, this is cool. I like it. I'm down. I dig it. I love Superman. Even though Man of Steel was like, I love that movie. I do agree with a lot of people and say it was kind of dark. But I understand in order to build hope, let's maybe not start with a happy guy, but make him become happy. That would have been cool. Maybe. I don't know.
I think that's the problem with it. I'm retroactively am disappointed in Man of Steel because I argued that I was like, oh man, this is going to be great. We're going to see him just build up to be this.
Yeah, and build into that symbol of hope, and then we get to build with him. It's like he becomes, because that was the whole like, when his dad says that line, one day they will join you in the sun. I'm like, oh man, what if they're going that route? That would be amazing. But they didn't. They were like, I'm mad.
And then they just skip it, and then like in the next movies, he's just like, "Oh yeah, people love him now," and I'm like, you missed. You didn't put it in work.
People are happy with me, and then
they went from he's a monster destroying the city to let's build a statue for him in that city.
Yeah, and they were probably like, because he probably went to a therapist, and then Batman killed him. Because he does that.
I know for all the people that I get why I'm kind of off Henry Cavill, and I want to see a new Superman, but I get why people like him if you like New 52 Superman. I get it. I really do. I think he's the best New 52 Superman. He's actually like the perfect choice.
Yeah.
I just don't care for New 52 Superman.
I don't envy who has to fill his shoes. I know that. Because they're always going to be like,
it's like you're the person that replaced him, your loved one, like the new boyfriend.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, But at the same time, it's like there were so many aspects. Like going back to the Snyderverse, the costume design. Like I'll always praise the costume design. I thought the costume design and the look was amazing. Like there was like, man, this look that they're going for, even though it's a little dark, I can still get behind it. It's fine. I still never got on board with Ezra Miller as Barry Allen.
No.
I never, and this is before, like, I don't want people to think I'm some bandwagon jumper that because he's a psychopath.
No,
it really is.
Let's be fair. I'll back you up. You hated Ezra Miller before all that stuff happened.
Yeah. As soon as I saw him, I was like, this is not a good call, guys. Like,
I admit I like Ezra Miller. I think he's Like we need to talk about Kevin and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Great
he's a
actor.
bad. Yeah, I would never speak on his acting ability. Like he's obviously, he's got his chops, but I don't know, something
That
about.
movie's already, I actually think that movie's already a hit. The Flash movie, I think that's actually going to do very well.
You think?
I think so.
We'll see.
I think Keaton alone is going to make it profit.
I
Yeah,
hope.
probably.
I
People-
hope they went in there doing a lot of reshoots and put him in more of it because I heard that he was a big part of Batgirl or whatever, Batwoman, and they just shut that down. And he's like, so hopefully he's in it.
Brandon Fraser talking about that. He was like really heartbroken. He's like, we made a really good movie. And he's like, I don't understand why nobody's ever going to see it.
His parts were probably good. That's probably the mistake. I bet because man, Brandon Fraser as Firefly, that sounds pretty cool, man.
Oh, did you hear like the story behind it? They changed his origin a bit. He was going to be a war vet that was being denied benefits for like health, the health benefits and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was just mad at the world.
Huh.
Well, as someone who works very close to the VBA, I understand.
Yeah, like I was like, yeah, because I've talked to you and I hear all those horror stories about how like there's just no benefits. Like,
yeah, it sucks.
Anything when you get home, it's like once you're discharged from the military, it's like you don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
and that's hard to. I mean, hell, Rainbow exists. I mean, that's why fucking Rainbow exists.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and that was way worse.
Yeah, so imagine like it's basically like if Rainbow became a bad guy, if he decided like, you know what, I don't like this world anymore, and he becomes
right.
And then I was like, oh, that's an interesting.
Well,
that's an interesting take on it.
Well, I hope. Wouldn't it be nice if James Gunn maybe stole that? I would like for that to continue.
Why you wouldn't, even if it's like nearly finished, I just don't see why you wouldn't release it to streaming.
Well, they said it would do more damage to the company brand, so you can.
I don't buy that. No, I don't buy that considering what they're doing with everything else. I just don't buy it. I don't see how it could be that damaging.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how bad could it have been? We'll never know.
Right.
I think someone will eventually leak it on. I think it'll eventually get leaked. There's no way you can keep that stuff.
Probably, because with how man, DC right now, and I like James Gunn. I love what he's done with Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. But God, man, like I don't the things the properties that he has chosen to go forward with. Since we're on the topic of DC, like, do you guys think that that's kind of like meh? Like,
so, I think it's on the surface. I think it's meh.
Yeah.
But if they're going to do what they say they're going to do and actually deliver, it will probably be great. But it's a lot of ifs.
It's 10 years. Yeah, it's 10 years of
procedural Green Lantern Corps show. That's like a gritty crime drama. Like, yeah, in space, cool. Let's do that. Will that work? I hope so. I really want it to work.
Is Hal Jordan going to be like floating in space and then like a ship blow up behind him, and be like, it went supernova.
Or it's just more like Matthew McConaughey with a cigarette. Just,
yeah.
Everything's dark and gray. Everybody's smoking outside in space. Like, another one of these.
He's just inside his little green bubble, like coughing, like.
Yeah.
He's like, no, Hal, don't open your bubble. It's Spurs.
If they can pull it off, I think it'll be good. But I'm skeptical until it actually happens. I'm still furious that they, I'm still not over the Henry Cavill thing, and especially like how they treated it. They made him announce that he was coming back before Black Adam, and then they turn around and can him. Shortly thereafter.
I think they revealed that was the reason that was The Rock's fault. Because he was pushed up, because Henry Cavill was fired for months. And he was like, no, let me put him in the movie. And he kind of went over people's heads. And so they were like, okay, fine, you can do this, but he's still fired. And he's like, oh, who cares, man? Let's do it. And then the second that movie did what it did, and they announced it, like it makes James Gunn look like the bad guy. He was like, whoever was going to step in that role, whoever they picked, they were going to be the bad guy because he set it up.
Yeah.
So, and then he probably Henry Cavill probably assumed that this will work and I'll be back, and was not like that at all.
No.
I don't know why. I don't know how The Rock got like so much. He got like a lot of production. Like,
well, he's The Rock, dude. He's been franchised.
It's like he asked for it.
Yeah, he's been. Well, we used to joke, and call him franchise Viagra. Like everything he touched, like turned to gold. But until recently, I don't know what happened, but I think it's just because I think he just what's the word?
Overextended.
Overextended himself, and tried to take charge of the DC and be like, "Oh, I'm going to be Kevin Feige."
Well,
yeah,
he was adamant about getting production. He wanted a production credit on that Super Pets movie.
Yeah.
And then he didn't, like when he came out, he didn't talk about it, didn't do any advertisement for it or anything.
Yeah.
It just kind of came out. And
then when Black Adam came out and they did the announcements of all the stuff that they did with James Gunn and everything, he unfollowed like everybody on Instagram would like unfollowed Black Adam, and he's like, I never existed.
Yeah.
He was like, well, we made more money than Captain America did when it came out. And I'm like, 20 years ago. You understand inflation? Like
that and plus
you spent so much money on that movie. Like you have to. What is the term? You have to make twice back.
Well, you got to make more than twice. You got to make more than twice.
Well, to get profit, but like
yeah. Because of half of the production, you take whatever it costs to make the movie, and then you double that, and there's your marketing. And dude, they've been marketing Black Adam for. Remember, that was my joke. I was like, dude, this movie's gonna be in production for like 20 years, because every DC like event we had, The Rock would come out and he'd be like, the hierarchy of bullshit is about to change, and then
first, he even they offered him to come and do Shazam. They're like, come do a cameo in the new Shazam movie. We'll go ahead and set you up. Well, and he was like, nah. I only deal with like the big leaguers, and we were like.
I heard that too, but then I heard that was also like, I don't know if that's true or not. If he was even
right,
but either way, it's like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like my thing was I would say, if I could talk to The Rock, I'd be like, look, man, your character is kind of like very important to Shazam, and the fact that you're not involved with it makes you look stupid.
Right.
Like if you're like I never saw the Joker. I don't care how people rave and saying how awesome it was with Joaquin Phoenix. I don't care. It's a Joker movie that exists without Batman. I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
Like I don't know.
I think personally, I think it's wrong that they keep pushing villains and trying to make villains into like hero movies, and that seems to be like what DC property has been, or the people in charge have been wanting to do all along. Like the Joker gets its own movie and stuff. It's like, but I don't know, like the Black Adam. It's like, okay, he if at best he's an anti-hero.
Well, the current run, like as of like right this fucking second, from what I understand, Black Adam is kind of more good than bad. And he's anti-hero, but he's like ruling over conduct. He's basically like more benevolent Doctor Doom.
Right.
Like he rules over conduct and takes no trash, which I can get on board with that. But the fact that you can't, it needed to be a part of Shazam. It needed to be.
Well, because I mean they set him up in the first film anyway.
Yeah, they even set him up, and even the Shazam films, I love the first one until the end, until they went the whole Shazam family route. And I'm like, I hate this because it to me that removes what made Shazam special.
Right.
Like Billy Batson was special.
But what they've done is they've written themselves in a corner.
Yeah.
Because now the next one, as you can see in the trailer, like they have to include all the family, or it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So I wonder how they're actually going to do that. I was just shocked that they did it. that fast.
Like I would have been fine with it if it would have been a one-off thing, you know, or it's like, listen, I'm going to loan you some of my powers and you guys join me in combat. But you know, I need you this one time. You know,
It would have been better if it was like facing
Yeah.
Shazam or Black
Yeah.
Adam. I mean,
yeah. Oh
Like-
yeah, that would have been awesome. You know, like I need, like I can't do this on my own. I need, and then it would be awesome. Like, if nothing's more stronger than family, you know. Yeah. And Vin Diesel shows up, and then The Rock has to leave because you know.
I think it should be clear then that like the whole. I mean, you remember when the HBO Warner Brothers those emails got hijacked, and they were going through all of them. They were revealing all their plans and stuff.
Uh-huh.
There was one there was it was in there that they were fixing to do all this stuff anyway. And Henry Cavill was gone, and they were just going to wrap stuff up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
But yeah, I don't know how we got painted. It's just because of Black Adam. Like all this stuff, Black Adam ended up being more of a mess than anything. Even if that movie had been successful, I still think they were going to do this.
yeah, I do too. And the fact, and I mean, and then the Flash is a testament of it because of because it's their way of
Yeah.
setting the universe.
it's
It
a wish.
makes
It's a
sense
wish.
that they
It's
can't. Yeah, they can't get rid of them. It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense because
We need this.
it's
Yeah,
the
they need
last
it to.
one.
Yeah, well, they need it to jumpstart the new universe.
Yeah,
Right.
Like it's basically going to be a Wish.com version of Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and which is a shame because man, one of the things that I thought that Zack Snyder did that could have been really interesting that someone could have played with is the fact that they had Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne.
Right.
Can you and have him come in and be Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint Batman?
Dude,
Like,
that would have been so sick.
would that had that, you know? I mean, oh my god, like that would have been so badass.
Yeah, it
And
would have.
as much as I'm crazy, if I had to, people would want to kill me. But as much as I want to see this whole Keaton thing, I would have rather seen Thomas Wayne. I'd rather seen, yeah.
Well, you
And
know what happened? It's the success of. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse changed everything because they were not expecting that to be a hit.
Yeah.
Clearly, because those animators and writers, they just let them do whatever.
Yeah.
They just kind of left them alone, and they delivered such an amazing movie.
Such a good
And
movie.
it's like, oh well, let's do this live action. That's a phenomenal hit. So now everybody's interested in multiverse. Like everybody wants that now.
Yeah. But that's the problem with like all entertainment now. It's no one wants to. I understand taking inspiration for something, but copy and pasting is a whole nother thing, and that's what it
Right.
feels like.
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, well, let's just do what they did because that works. You know, because
I tell you, that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, fantastic movie, by the way. Just utterly just so good.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have got made if it hadn't involved the idea of multiple universes.
Right.
probably, yeah,
I think somebody saw that and they're like, okay, we could probably market that.
yeah. So that makes, because there's probably some executive back there be like, well, that makes money right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and luckily for them, like it is great and it's worthy of all
Yeah.
these Oscar nominations and stuff.
hmm
And thank God we got Short Round back. From like I'm so glad he's back in movies now.
Yeah.
He's so great. I love that man to death.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He needs to be in more movies. Everybody's flipping out because they found out he's been a fight coordinator for years, and I'm like, yeah, he's on the X-Men DVD. I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like behind the scenes fight choreographer and stuff. That's neat. Yeah, apparently he just couldn't get work for a long time.
yeah. I mean,
he's a child actor, and people don't.
Yeah, they don't want to touch that.
Yeah, they're like, you can't. You were cute as a kid, but man, I can't market you. People are just going to see that. I'm guilty of it. I just called him Short Round. I shouldn't do that. But to me, it's like he's great, man.
Well, I think because it's stigma, sometimes being a child actor, you know, it's like when they grow into being a man. I think because their childhoods are so fucked up that they don't grow into being a man. I know that's hard to say. So it's hard for him to see them as a leading role. But you take somebody,
it's such a hard hurdle, man.
Yeah, it's such a hard
Mhm.
hurdle. But then he was short round as a kid, but then he didn't get any work, and that's a shame. But it made him develop in such a badass man, so that when he's a man now, you see him as a leading role. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
I think I mean, that's why. I mean, you look at like Kurt Russell. Nobody thinks of him as a Disney kid. He's a Disney.
No, yeah, I know he's a
He's
Disney
a
kid, but
straight up Disney kid. But like
yeah,
he goes off and he does Escape from New York, and they're like, oh,
he's Snake
oh
Plissken.
shit, oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
he's not a
yeah.
Disney
And
kid.
I mean, you remember Heath Ledger? Everybody was like, "You mean that 10 things I hate about you, punk?"
He got
You
so
know?
much heat for that. There's no way he's gonna pull that off.
There's no way you can be Joker. And then
Anyway, here's your Oscar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are. Like I don't even know how many years from now, and people will be like, "Well, what your Joker performance?" I'm like, "It's Heath Ledger."
Yeah.
He's probably the best Joker
Phenomenal
performance, that we'll ever see. Because to follow that up with Jared fucking Leto, you morons.
The the dude that they were, I think is Mahanigan or something like that. The dude that they were setting up to play Joker in the Batman movie with
Yeah.
Pattinson.
Yeah.
I think he was doing like almost like a Wish.com version of.
I hated that. I hated that Joker performance.
I didn't hate it, but it gave me hope that he was going to respect the role by using some of that goodwill that has built up with him, and then ooze it into the performance.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that if he ever comes back around, that's what happens. But it's still probably not going to be as good as The Dark Knight.
It's either they got to do a dark version of the Joker, or they got to do the campy version. And there's not a lot of people. It tends to be voice actors that can do it. That can do the marriage of the two. Your Mark Hamill here.
Yeah.
John DiMaggio, or is it John DiMaggio? That's his name, right? Bender.
Yeah.
He was a great Joker.
He was under the Red Hood. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic Joker, but like live action people, it seems like they can only do one of the two. It's either got to be dark or it's got to be campy. You can't do both.
I don't know. See, like when I think about,
to be fair, Nicholson kind of did.
I was gonna say Nicholson straddled that line so hard of like 1 minute he's this campy guy, but then he gets in your face, and then you not and it gets in your face, and you're like, he's creepy, but also he's already stabbed you.
Yeah.
So it's like,
God.
Yeah. When you go back and you watch '89 Batman, like I went and watched it recently, and I was like, God damn! I was like, Nicholson was kind of scary. I never caught it when I was a kid. It just was like, oh, this is the Joker. He's the bad guy. But when you watch him now, it's like, what the hell, man? He actually kind of leaned into this real hard, and he didn't realize it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard for me to get past the painted face, like his rictus grin that he has going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, like what prosthetics and stuff back then.
Yeah.
Weren't that? The face was kind of messed up. But I think if they would have, if I was in charge and I had to make a Joker right now, I would try to copy the Nicholson Joker as much as I could, but throw in the facial scars from Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
Or the Dark Knight, to make the scarred face more realistic and more believable.
Right.
And but keep that, because I don't know, there was something about it. It was campy, it was outlandish, and it was like, for someone to show up in that outfit and to be that outlandish must be a very ballsy and crazy person. But then they show up and they actually prove that they are, and they're competent, and they're like, this guy is actually a threat.
Yeah.
I give him credit again. I really think John DiMaggio, I think that was like a really good performance that people don't know about.
Yeah.
Unless you're just fans of those animated films, of course. Like, I mean, people are probably listening to us have probably seen Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was good in that. Yeah, he was good in the anime Under the Red Hood. I remember he was really good as Joker.
But
he had
it was Yeah, he was very. It was like I don't want to be in the room with this guy because I don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, because he was very calm and collected when he was talking, but then you gave him a drink of water, and he immediately turned that drink of water into a knife and cut somebody's throat.
Yeah,
You know,
what was
you
that?
know, and I was like, to me,
And then
that's
make
like,
a joke about it.
yeah, that's to me, that's like, yeah, that's to me, that's Joker. You know, that's the route you should go with. But then because a good example is like we have so many examples of how good Joker would work, and fortunately we have a really good example of how not to do Joker with old Leto, because that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Hey, that's not fair. You have not seen the Ayer cut yet.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'm pretty
probably
sure
great.
I'm pretty sure there's enough footage in there to completely change my mind. Hey, you're right. I shouldn't judge a book that I haven't seen, right?
Hashtag the Ayer, release the Ayer cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think because it's funny because every opportunity like they had to show him Suicide Squad and then they put him in the flashback sequence or not the flashback or the nightmare appearance, you know, where he's like doing that stupid thing with Batman and they have that
Yeah.
conversation, and it's the worst. If you go back and you listen to it, it's probably the worst dialogue you'd ever hear between two people. You know, he's like, Batman, you know, it's like a kid.
And just as a joke, we should next time we do one of these, we should have that script and just read it, not as characters. Let's just read it out loud.
Yeah, just read, just take the lines
as
for
normal people.
Yeah, just take the lines for what they are and try to take that and that scene and be like, what the fuck is happening here? what is happening here? Like, what are you doing?
It doesn't matter. We're not going to see it in its 4:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah. And then you got Amber Turd over there just sorry. We're not still trying to stay positive, are we?
Hey, which podcast are we on now?
Someone good in my
when I was gonna propose this, I was gonna say, look, you know, it's fine if we swear. It's fine that we're not positive because you know it's hard to be positive in a world like this. But yeah, it's all fair.
Hey man, COVID changed everything. All right.
I think it's great to be hopeful, but at the same time, you know, we can't be blind to what is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's you got to do that. You got to do the rule. You can't just critique. You got to offer solutions.
Yeah,
I feel like we're doing that. I feel like we're actually.
Yeah, and
it's not we're going. Oh man, that Ant-Man movie probably sucks, like everybody says it does. Anyway, what's the news? What's the next article? Like, no, it's like, well, let's talk about why. Like, if it does suck, why does it suck? I actually don't know because people are saying it's.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's like Love and Thunder. Like it's worse than Love and Thunder. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Dude, I haven't watched a Marvel movie since Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder's rough. That was.
After seeing that, and I waited to watch that on Disney Plus, and watched that, and you know me, dude. I like the Thor movies. Like I'm a sucker for those movies. I even loved Ragnarok. I thought Ragnarok was great, and then later finding out that Taika Waititi wasn't like in full control. He was just like kind of directing what people had previously written, and he had the reins on him. And then the next one with Love and Thunder, they just said, "Oh, do everything." It's kind of like with Patty Jenkins, you know, like she kind of, in a way, Zack Snyder was like shadow directing Wonder Woman, and then there was other people involved with the story and the action choreography and making Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was great until the third act, you know, when it turned into a CGI throwing metal fight, and then the success of that, they were like, well, then Patty Jenkins must be the key, so let's give her full control, and then everybody hated Wonder Woman 84. I haven't even watched it because I
don't think you can make it. It's like all those. It ticks all those boxes for things that I know that you dislike.
Yeah.
But the number one rule, but just number one, it's terrible writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for it. It's just really bad. It's really bad writing.
And that's the problem, as we get older, we take in more content, we read more books, we see things by actually talented people, and that kind of shatters your ceiling, raises the bar for you. So when you go back and you see shit, it's more, it's more obvious to you.
Plus, when you're young, and like you don't want to hear from a bunch of 40-year-olds talking about this stuff either. But it's like,
no.
we grew up with this stuff. We know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm never gonna talk down at a kid that loves what's going on, because they need to
No,
go
yeah,
through that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't kill the magic type of thing.
Yeah. Let that. If you think it's great, kid, more power to you. Have a good time.
Yeah.
But we're,
God bless us. We love some terrible movies.
Yeah, we love terrible stuff.
I'm fully aware that Super Mario Brothers the movie is not a good movie, and
yes, but you know what?
and Masters of the Universe, yeah, it probably could use more money.
oh my God, yeah. Objectively, if you go back and watch Masters of the Universe, that is awful.
It's cheesy. It's
awful.
It's slog.
But you know what? I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then
I see the movie that they made in my eyes.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
I see exactly what you were going for, and I see it too. And this is great.
I started watching. I didn't tell you about this. I started watching the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie the other day.
Oh, really?
And I got about 5 minutes into it, and I'm like, I started having this feeling of like, oh shit, this might not be good. But so then I turned it off, and I was like, I don't want to ruin it. I was like, in my mind, that movie's magic.
You should watch it, because to me, that is one of the most faithful comic book adaptations of a movie.
I'm so afraid that my objective brain will override my like hopeful brain.
No, that movie still holds up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 is what you go back and you're like, man, this is super cheesy.
Yeah.
And over the top. I still love it.
I still love it.
I still love it.
I just want to say that I'm so afraid. I was like, don't damage what you got. Like you got.
No, watch. Go back and watch it. That movie still holds up. It's still really fun and good. And the ending is great. That last fight at the end is great.
Yeah. And it's given me like a wonderful new gift too, like a response for when people ask me questions or something. I do it to them at work all the time, and then they'd be like, "Do you think this is gonna work?" or something like that, and I immediately reply with that Ninja Turtle gif of like, "I don't think, I know." I was like, "Yep, that's wonderful." Leonardo. Oh, God. But yeah, I guess I didn't mean to get on too many tangents of of being negative and talking about the things I don't like and disagree with. But what are we excited about?
I'm excited about my Dragon Ball figures. I'm excited about the upcoming Animal Warriors of the Kingdom that I'm going to be getting soon.
I just watched a review of those the other day, and I need to make that happen. I still want the gorilla and the chimp. And the
I think you should get on them.
Yeah.
If I just had those two, I'd be happy, because I like the idea of a chimp fighting a gorilla. In armor.
I would take that Walmart money that they fucked up on.
Yeah.
And I would put that in Big Bad and right now.
For sure.
Just do that. Just do it. Just treat yourself. Treat yourself. You know what? That's gonna be the segment of the show, Justin. I hope you approve. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Get you something nice.
Yeah, this is going to arrive apparently on March 1st. So March 1st is insane. I'm going to get the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, Mandalorian, a Bad Batch episode. My mind is going to be like,
so are they
just absolute mush with excitement?
Is Mandalorian going to do this episodic stuff, or are they going to give us the season?
I think they're going episode by episode, aren't they?
Why are we paying for streaming? Oh,
It's a cable service. That's what it is.
God, like I hate this. You know how hard it is to get just like.
If they had it all out, but I don't know. It's fine, whatever. What's worse is paying for a service to get a half-hour episode each week. A half-hour episode.
Yeah.
Now, upcoming, I'll be getting an hour and a half because overlap from Bad Batch and Mando. I'll get at least an hour and a half worth of content each week.
I just don't like the fact that you know me and my military background. I hate blanket punishment, and that's what this feels like. Is blanket punishment. I'm being punished for all these people that can't delegate their time and be like, I'm gonna binge watch it and then cancel my membership. I'm like, dude, just let me take my time. Like, I'll probably watch an episode a night.
Right.
You know, and enjoy it. I love doing an episode a night with, just sit down on the couch, enjoy some nice a good show. Love that.
Well, now you got like it'll be like video games, like that joke about when it comes out and when it really comes out.
Oh yeah, dude.
Now it's like when the Mandalorian's coming out, but when does all the episodes? When do they all be up?
That's usually what I do. That's usually what I do. I wait for everything to finally come out, but it's
hard because then you get spoilers and stuff. Like episode 8. This season's going to be 8 episodes, and the last episode is April 19th. So that's when the last episode is going to air.
Because they cannibalized like a chunk of that season and put it in Book of Boba.
Well, they
bring up that.
You think they're gonna bring Boba back?
It's possible
or something, but yeah, I think
I wouldn't rule out him.
Bridge things to the next thing now.
And Marshall, Cobb Vanth.
I think he could get his own show. He's that good.
Yeah. Well,
I can just watch the Western in space.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to say it's Deadwood.
Yeah, I could watch that.
Or Justified. Yeah.
Just God, I still need to watch Justified.
Yeah. See, I think that's and I'm actually
he's that charisma of the wazoo. He's just fun, man.
I'm actually digging the idea of the Ahsoka show.
Well, yeah, so much so.
I think that's to be like I know there are people a little upset, but I was like, I think that casting's pretty goddamn perfect.
It is.
I think she's a great Ahsoka, like an older Ahsoka that's seen battle and she's like wary and she's everything that Luke isn't.
Mm-hmm.
to me, she's because boy, not to me. Like I'd make the joke around the house, like when people flake on me or whatever. I'm like, oh, you're being a Luke Skywalker, you're a flaky, foldable person. And
are we talking like Are we talking like new trilogy Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to me that doesn't really exist. I think.
Unfortunately,
you have to think. You have to imagine, because Ahsoka was there when everything's falling apart, and she kind of realized herself, like, oh, the Jedi, the whole idea, the council, and all that stuff, that sucks. That does not work.
As far as Jedis go, like in my opinion, I think she's probably the best one. Because
her and Yoda were like the only ones that figured it out. Well, Anakin figured it out, but
Yeah, but when
it got a little too therapeutic.
I hate you.
I hate you. That's good. Let your feelings out.
I'm on fire.
Okay, that's bad. I'll admit it.
I'm gonna leave you now. I'm gonna raise your child and teach them to murder you.
Oh, I'm gonna get you. You're gonna get it. You're so gonna get it.
But yeah, I think provided they got some good writing or whatever, Ahsoka Tano right now is like, I was like, I love what they did for her in Mandalorian, and I was like, yes, more of this, please. That episode where her and Mando are like assaulting that like town or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool as shit. Like, do more of that. Like, I was like, I'll take more, please.
Like a great character arc, and then like right there at the end when they did those final episodes of Clone Wars, like she just shined so bright. They really let her character loose.
Absolutely perfect.
Great.
Yeah, she's the best
She gets to have
Jedi.
a fight with Darth Maul, and it's fantastic. And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, more of this.
And that's my thing. She's the best Jedi because she figured out that not to be one. You know,
Right.
Jedi are fucking stupid.
She really kind of like the opposite of Anakin. It's like they both figured it out, but they both took different paths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can use what I learned.
Yeah.
I can drop out of college and still be a success. And Anakin's like, no.
Yeah, she went to trade school.
Yeah, I guess that is. The, yeah, I guess that is the equivalent.
Yeah, and then
And Anakin paid full price for college.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
he's in
he
debt.
paid. He's got so much student loans. They just, and then yeah, and then every once in a while you just hold up Grogu and be like, buy more products.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you love Grogu, don't you?
Remember the samurai films? I do.
Like I think what wasn't it? It was Book of Boba when was it Boba? Was it Book of Boba Fett where Luke makes him choose the lightsaber or the shirt?
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting there watching that, and that was the moment that it solidified my hatred for Luke Skywalker. Like that was just like, you are a retard.
It was so dumb that it's like, okay, you just experienced your father turning back to the light.
Yeah.
And you're forgetting it was your attachment, that he was attached to you, that he rejected the dark side. It was through that attachment. Like in the expanded universe, Luke realized that, and that's how he didn't forego the attachment rule and encouraged people to love and make connections, because it's likely the only thing that will bring you back.
Yeah, so seeing that scene that solidified how it made it possible for Luke to be so retarded in the sequel trilogy. Like,
yeah.
He's like, oh man, my father murdered billions and of people, and then all those Jedi he killed. But you know what? You know what's worse than that? My son that I think might be bad, or my nephew.
That might be bad.
That might be bad.
Tendencies.
He has dark tendencies. I better maybe
Maybe
not.
I should just kill him in his sleep.
Yeah, maybe I should. It's like, should I take him out for milkshakes and maybe have a talk with him? Nah, kill him.
Yeah. But that was the thing. Like he realized, trust me, I'm not defending that movie. It was that realization. It's just he realized it in front of Ben while he's holding this. Like, oh, hey there, buddy. What you doing? Oh, me? I was just practicing in your room.
Yeah.
I get it. But then, I feel like I'm getting started, because then I could explain why. That should have been a great Kylo Ren character arc, and then they messed that up too.
Yeah.
That's the problem. I think there's a lot of lead in from that. I'm just a little bit worried about Mando, because I think they've done that thing where they've dictated their own story, because he has that new ship and it only holds 2 passengers.
Yeah.
Well, it holds 1, and he modded it. But I'm like, how's he going to bounty hunt that thing, man?
Well, as far as we know,
everybody just dead from here on out.
he bring it in.
Yeah, I made that little cubby hole in case you don't come back, Grogu. That's where I can put their heads.
Yeah, I bring back their ears.
I could just stack them up. I can do 2 or 3 on this trip.
Yeah. Do that, or he tows it, or he just tows them behind the ship in carbonite.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
straps them to the front of the ship.
Yeah,
ties them to the wing down like they're deer.
I don't think he'll be in that ship long. If I had to put money on it, I think he's gonna get a bigger ship, because that ship is cool, and it'll be for the first couple, like maybe half a season, just so they can sell that as a toy.
Oh,
and then once it sells enough, and they're like, oh yeah, Razor Crest 2.
It's the same Razor Crest, but it's got flames on it.
Yeah, it's
that way they can reuse the old molds.
It's just like, yeah, this one's now the Pork Chop Express, You
tell them old Jack, man, I'd pay to watch a Jack Burton Mando.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, like just because I think it'll sell toys, and then they got to bring it back, because it makes no sense. That I understand that because he's not really bounty hunting this season. It's more, I'm thinking that it's more about him going to get in Mandalorian drama.
Yeah.
And then I'm cool with it. I mean, if I get to see Bo-Katan walk around a little bit. That's fine.
I think everybody thinks that like when you talk about something negative like this, you're expecting the worst, but just so you can hate it. I don't like hate love things. It's like I want them to be good.
Yeah, I want to enjoy that. Like
I want Star Wars to be good. I really do.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't like the Mandalorian. I'd be a liar.
Mhm.
The
We're not rooting for the show to be canceled or anything. I'm worried. I'm cautious.
Yeah, and you have every right to be
because Book of Boba Fett was
because Boba Fett was. I know. I'm sorry, Dustin. That was a weird show.
I know people have their reservations and dislikes, but I loved it.
And then they did Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan made 0 sense.
Again, I loved it.
Yeah. Like I understand I understand why people would love it because of the moments that were in that show. There were some good moments.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm so sick and tired of people taking our heroes and bringing them down. Like it doesn't make sense that that's the same character we got from the same movies is that Obi-Wan. Like they tried. It's like they try that I'm a broken down old man. I just need something to bring me back. I'm like, they didn't strike me as the characters that would be broken down. Would he be Would he be a little heartbroken about Anakin? Yeah. That's why it was so like cool to see him and Anakin speak to each other.
Yeah.
And have that moment, but at the same time, logic comes into mind, and I'm like, why didn't you just kill him? Either one of you, like one of you should have died there, and which would completely ruin the future of Star Wars. As much as I love seeing them and hearing them talk to each other, it shouldn't have happened. Like they should have never crossed paths, which I know is blasphemy, but I just don't feel that two guys that are that emotionally charged about one another and what they represent and could meet each other without walking away, without killing one another. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's essentially what happens in Star Wars.
Yeah. Because like in A New Hope, when they meet up, that's that big meeting, of like,
Follow me here. I'm going to see if I can't get this out. I think what's happening is we're seeing all these characters that we love.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of doing new iterations of these characters, we're doing iterations of the characters in continuity with their current versions instead of coming up with a new version of them.
Yes.
And that's conflicting with this.
Yes.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I know, like The Last of Us is doing it right now. Because I didn't tell you, I wanted to stop after the 3rd episode because I was like, this is like filler. I'm not really digging this.
Yeah.
But then Renee wanted to keep watching it, and I'm like, oh, you still like it? She's like, well, I don't know anything about these characters, and you do, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I guess you're right. Like these are you to you.
Yeah.
And so she started watching it. I'm working on the background. The next 2 episodes are like, I was like, wow, those were actually good. Those were good episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then this last episode that came out, it had something that kind of irked me. And it didn't her. It didn't. But she's like, from her perspective, it was, Joel having these panic attacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And how he's worried and he's kind of like, he doesn't feel like he's able. And I'm like, that's not Joel to me. That's not Joe from the video game. That's not Joel from the video game. But
yeah.
And I was like, you kind of have to like let it go because she's enjoying the show. I'm enjoying aspects of the show. I'm still actually weirdly hooked now, which is weird.
I still think it's entirely plausible to be facing that and worried about that kind of thing.
Yeah, if it's like, what the problem is, it's conflicting in my brain,
right?
Because I've seen this story.
Yeah,
and
it was so great.
It's just short of movie quality in and of itself because it's not it's not like they're adapting Pac-Man or something and they have to fill in like all this lore and stuff to make these people talk. I've seen the story and it's like, it's like what? How long is that game? Like 20 hours or something? Something like that? I don't know. But it's like I watched the show. It's just like I played the show.
Depends on how many click or quick time events you fuck up.
Yeah, I guess so. But
which is why the
so
show is inaccurate, because he never once went into his inventory and had to build a shank and screwed up a QuickTime event.
yeah, those things that bothered me about the third episode. I was like, he met him and he didn't teach him how to do any of this cool gadgetry trick stuff like he does in the game. And like
Yeah.
Joel didn't pick up any of the making traps or anything. He didn't pick that up from him,
Yeah.
which is like a mechanic of the game.
Yeah.
But I guess they didn't see a need to implement that in the story that they're telling. So
And
like,
that was what I was with. I was talking to my wife because I was upset about the episode too, because I was really looking forward to that Joel and Bill and Ellie dynamic that they had. And it was really fun to watch them all interact with each other.
yeah,
And like
like
where
you
Ellie
turn
flips
his
him off.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he told, he was like, "Don't touch none of my stuff," and he was just angry, grumpy Bill. And plus that excellent sequence where Joel is captured by the tripwire and hanging from the school and having to shoot those zombies
Yeah.
upside down. Like, to have that as an action sequence, I was really looking forward to seeing it. But that's just me because I played the game and I loved it so much, you know. And yeah, I think you're hitting the nail on the head that's what's wrong with Star Wars, is because we keep taking too many characters that we already know and know well, because we spend our lives watching these things.
Yeah.
You know, I think the future of Star Wars is new characters like Mandalorian. You know,
I think
the
that's
reason,
that was the
yeah,
thing I forgot to talk
yeah,
about. I think that's why it's so successful,
yeah,
because he's a brand new character.
he's a brand new character. He's got, the galaxy is new and fresh again because we're
Yeah.
seeing it from fresh eyes. And it works because when he runs into legacy characters like Bo-Katan and Ahsoka, we have all the backstory, but nothing's really happening that's pivotal to their characters
No.
because they're not the
They're
main
just
character of the
yeah,
show.
they're just in the
Yeah,
universe, and
yeah.
we know those rules.
I think the future would be if it should be Mandalorian and Cal Kestis from the video game. They should move forward
They
with new
really
characters.
should do
They
it
should
for
move
them.
forward with, because going back and trying to edit and like, I've always been mad about that. Like, you've heard me complain about, like, Rogue One was one of the most stupidest things on the planet, in my opinion. I think, despite the fact that the movie's okay, but I hate the idea that it exists, because you took one line from A New Hope and said, let's make a movie about that and fit it into the timeline. I'm like, no, come on, man. Like, you're wasting too many time. We don't need it. Is what
Right.
And then, like, the whole Andor show, everybody's like, oh, Andor's great, and I'm
I
like,
gotta
yeah, but
finish
it,
Andor.
huh? I
Still
haven't
gotta
watched
finish
it.
Andor.
I don't care, because it's a character's backstory that leads up into Rogue One that was manifested from somebody saying many Bothans died getting this data.
See,
Yeah,
I feel like that's a better option though than
it's a better
taking a
option than,
character and like coming up with a whole backstory for them and
yeah.
putting them in situations and then just having them just be completely out of character.
Yeah, it's just, the problem is that always goes in turn with why I hate prequels. Because I can't feel anxiety or stress on a prequel because I already know how it ends. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like watching Rogue
Like,
One,
yeah,
it's like,
the
yeah, I'm
rules
watching
have
Rogue.
to be. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
it's
you.
like, in order to get to this point in time, I'm watching Rogue One. I'm like, well, all these people are dead. Like, you can't make me feel any stress or anxiety for them in this entire film, because I know that it's coming. I know that the foot's
Right.
gonna drop, and I don't know. But yeah, I think right there with you. I think the future is new characters, and
I actually feel like I know it would be a crazy move, but what if you just made the original Star Wars 1 through 6?
uh,
What if you just made that legacy? And what if you went and redid Star Wars? And I know this is just follow me here for a second. Wouldn't it be neat to see a what if Star Wars universe where everything looked exactly like Ralph McQuarrie's drawings? Where you
Yeah.
make it like a movie serial, like a pulp action sci-fi. Luke has a gas mask and he has a fight outside of a ship with Darth Vader, and their lightsabers look like the beam sabers from Gundam.
yeah,
And stormtroopers have lightsabers because it's just a tool. It's not like this magical weapon. It's just a tool.
yeah, yeah.
And
I know,
just do
I know.
crazy things like that, and just have fun with the property, but
Yeah, I
don't
think
just trying to squeeze in stuff into this small little basket that works, because you're just gonna break everything, man.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the purist in me says I don't want anybody to go back and touch the previous. You know, because it's like, man, it was pretty good.
A lot
Yeah.
of
It's pretty
stuff
good.
too. I know. Dustin's probably the biggest Star Wars fan I know because
Yeah.
the expanded stuff.
Yeah.
Everything he knows that info, and like there's some good material there, and instead of just adapting it and changing it to make it fit and saying like, but it's not that story, just make that story.
Hey,
Just make Shadows of the Empire, make that a movie.
And I want them to continue releasing Legends content. It doesn't matter that it's Legends, quote unquote. Yeah. Just let them release content, because there's a trilogy that was focused on Jaina Solo and Jagged Fell, her husband, that was going to bring to fruition something someone said, because Luke, when he was knighting all of his Jedi class, he was overcome with the Force and said, "You will be the sword of the Jedi," and he dubbed that on Jaina Solo. So the entire time through this series that she's working through, she's struggling with trying to understand, what does that mean? Am I just a weapon? Am I a tool? What exactly am I going to be used for? And it was coming to a head in this future trilogy. I think it was by Kathy Tyers. That's who was going to write it. It was a trilogy of books. I think it was coming to a head in that series, where it was going to come to fruition, like, what is her purpose for the future of the Jedi. And I think that would be extremely exciting, and I wish they would release it, because I believe they're pretty much written, and it just got shelved when Disney took over. And it's like, that's such a shame that happened, but it's like, it would be nice if they would continue to release Legends, quote unquote, content for people like fans like me, who've been invested in this series of trilogy and this series of books for so long, that it would be nice. But so far they haven't. Long story short.
Imagine having Dash Rendar on the shelf.
I can't tell you how much I really would like to see. I think Dash Rendar is secretly my favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah, I mean, imagine having that in your arsenal and be like, nah.
He's like Han Solo without all the hang-ups and stuff. He's like, yeah, I'm cool being a smuggler. Oh, did I save the day? I'm going to fake my death and just take on out because I don't want the attention.
Disney I'm telling you.
I like him. And plus, he's a cool robot sidekick. I'm cool with that.
I would do that. I would move forward with that movie, and I'd cast Wyatt Russell as Dash Rendar. Blowing your mind, aren't you?
Kind of like that.
Huh?
Kind of like that. Plus, he needs some redemption because everybody ended up hating him for doing his job.
Yeah, I know.
He's the worst Captain America ever.
That's the point.
Exactly. Exactly, you idiot. You're an idiot.
How dare you make me accept that? Well, listen, fellas. I gotta go help with the child, and
no, we've probably been talking for like 18 hours. It feels like
it has been a minute. Like it's been a great minute. But I'm really glad. There's some real. I'm a little biased, but there's some good stuff in here.
Yeah.
But
I think it's good to release as an episode.
Yeah, thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig, for hosting us.
Yes,
you're welcome.
You are welcome. The authorities have been called. But listen, it was great catching up with you guys, and hopefully, we'll be a little bit better prepared for the next one. We'll get together and do it again.
Yeah,
and then we'll have Mandalorian to talk about, and Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, and
I'm sure we'll all have toys and shows and stuff that we've watched.
And so we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff to talk about.
Yep.
Everybody have a marvelous day then.
Yeah,
you too.
Later, fellas.
Later.